Welcome. You're watching the English News Program on Somaliland National Television with me, Waris Mohammed. Now these are the stories making local headlines. Vice President of Somaliland meets with Turkish delegation at his office. Minister of Interior takes a tour of Mandera police training facilities. 3 ministers withdrawn from Tunisian government. Somaliland continues to build bilateral ties with the international community. In this particular case, a Turkish delegation of senior officials met with Vice President Abdulrahman Ismail Saylici and several other ministers. Vice President of Somaliland Abdulrahman Ismail Saylici met with a senior Turkish delegation comprised of investors and members of Turkey's Chamber of Commerce. The relationship between Somaliland and Turkey has strengthened since this administration took office in an attempt to build methods of cooperation on several forefronts. Vice President Abdulrahman Ismail Saylici welcomed the Turkish delegation. He emphasized the historical and present-day ties between Turkey and Somaliland as one of great significance. The Vice President urged the Turkey delegation to meet with several institutions and continue on their path of strengthening relations with Somaliland. On the other side, the Turkish delegation met with several ministers from various ministries, including Minister of Education and Higher Studies Zamzam Abdi Aden. The Minister of Education and Higher Studies spoke on the need for more assistance and support for Somaliland's education sector, and she stated,
in intermediate schools, 5,000 students graduated from the universities. Some of them need postgraduate, some of them need scholarships in universities. So we need that assistance also, because it's really
The Turkish delegation also met with Minister of Agriculture Farah Elmi Gedole, Minister of Commerce Abdulrazak Khalif, Minister of Minerals and Water Resources Hussein Abdi Duale, and a number of other senior government officials. Minister of Interior Mohammed Noor Arral Dur took a tour of Mandera police training facilities. The minister gave a keynote speech to women cadets on the importance of their role in national security initiatives. Minister of Interior Mohammed Noor Arral Dur took an inspection tour of Mandera police training facilities. The minister, accompanied by Somaliland's Police Commissioner Abdullahi Fadal Iman and other senior security officials. The minister participated in the completion ceremony of training for 22 units, of which most were women police cadets. Minister of Interior Mohammed Noor Arral Dur elaborated on the relevance that women play in maintaining national security. He continued to encourage more female participation in national security efforts. Somaliland's Police Commissioner Abdullahi Fadal Iman also provided attendees with a keynote speech. Somaliland's Police Commissioner Abdullahi Fadal Iman also provided attendees with keynote speech. The Police Commissioner stated that national security is an obligation upon every citizen, male and female. He also added that it's true progress to witness such more numbers of women graduating from police training programs. Dalsan Political Association joined Kulmiye Political Party in a unification ceremony. Chairman of Kulmiye Political Party Musa Bihi Abdi commended the efforts of Ismail Adan Osman on his decision to rally Dalsan supporters towards Kulmiye Political Party.
The ceremonial event hosted a wide array of dignitaries and distinguished guests, including cabinet ministers, parliamentarians, notable political figures, intellectuals, and prominent members of Somaliland society. Chairman of Kulmiye Political Party, Musa Bihi Abdi, took to the podium. He elaborated on the democratic principles of Somaliland's electoral system. The chairman of Kulmiye stated that it's through genuine cooperation progress can only be reached, and as such, the unification of Kulmiye and Dalsan is a beacon of hope and progress for this nation. Chairman Musa Bihi also commended the efforts of Hassan Isa Jama, chairman of Haksor Political Association, for his continued effort in placing national interests above personal interests. chairman of Dalsan Political Association, Ismail Adan Osman, commended the efforts of Kumia Political Party and Dalsan Political Association supporters leading to the unification decision. The chairman of Dalsan emphasized the key objective of any political figures should be one rooted in aspirations of national progress, and that is a prime catalyst behind the unification of Dalsan and Kumia. The unification of Dalsan and Kumia symbolizes the growing support of citizens for the ruling government party. This is not the first political association known for unifying with Kumia Political Party, but rather several other political associations, after conceding defeat in the several stages of local government elections, chose to unify with Kumia in hopes of better serving citizens of the nation.
You're watching the English news program on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. And now for our international headlines. The Secular Party of Tunisian President Monsef Marzouki has withdrawn its 3 ministers from the country's government, saying that its demands for changes in the cabinet have not been met.
The decision on Sunday by Marzouki's Congress for the Republican Party deals a further blow to Prime Minister Hamidi Jebali's government, already weakened by last week's assassination of secular opposition leader Shukri Belaid. Jebali has himself threatened to resign unless his Ennahda party and other parties accept his proposals for an interim government of technocrats. Jebali, who was in dispute with his party over his proposal for a new government, said on Saturday he would present his new cabinet by the middle of next week by the latest, the official TAP news agency reported.
An armed rebel group, the Movement for Oneness and Jihad in West Africa, or MUJAO, has claimed responsibility for an attack on the city of Goa in northern Mali and a suicide bombing the day before. Hundreds of residents gathered around the heavily damaged police headquarters building in the center of the city early on Monday, where body parts lay strewn about a day after Al-Qaeda-linked rebels launched a surprise attack on the city.
Fighters armed with AK-47 automatic rifles sneaked into Jayo on Sunday to launch a surprise attack on the Malian army in the most populous city in northern Mali, 2 weeks after French and Malian troops rooted out the Al-Qaeda-linked fighters in the city. The attackers used canoes to cross the Niger River to penetrate, according to French General Bernard Barari, who cited Malian officials. The combat started about 2 p.m. local time in a commercial hub, and the fighting continued throughout the night. Later, the sound of gunfire was replaced by the clattering of helicopters overhead. On Monday morning, French helicopters fired at a police station at the center of the clashes. The AFP news agency reported a tense calm had descended on the city by the afternoon, and it was unclear how many fighters on either side had been killed. Earlier on Saturday night, a suicide bomber had detonated his explosives at a checkpoint at the northern entrance, killing himself and injuring 1 Malian soldier. Another suicide bomber on a motorcycle blew himself up at the same security post on Friday, killing only 1 man and injuring a Malian lightly. Troops at the checkpoint where both suicide attacks occurred said no one else was wounded in Saturday's blast.
The French and British governments have promised to punish those found responsible for selling horse meat and beef products, at the heart of a growing scandal that started in Britain but is quickly spread into France. Benoît Hamon, French Consumer Affairs Minister, said on Saturday that an investigation had found that the horse meat had originated in Romania, although there were links with French, Dutch and Cypriot firms and a factory in Luxembourg. Owen Peterson, UK Environment Minister, said more cases of contaminated food could emerge as British retailers conducted tests for horse meat on processed beef products. The scandal threatens to affect consumer confidence in Europe's giant food industry, with pressure rising for greater checks. The British unit of frozen foods group Findus began a recall this week of its beef lasagna from retailers on advice from its French supplier Comigel over concerns that some packs contained high levels of horse meat. Findus France said it too had recalled lasagna and 2 other products after discovering that they included horse meat from Romania rather than beef from France as it had thought. And that's all. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow at the same time. Goodbye.